All right, Pat Murphy talking Ohio State football. Of course, the Buckeyes get together with Northwestern for the Big Ten Championship at noon Eastern time. One other thing, Pat, because it's being talked about via Dabo Sweeney, via Greg Sankey, SEC commissioner. They're not direct. They don't name names, but it's obvious what the target and who the target is because they're referencing teams that play only 5 or 6 games making the college football playoff. Is that anything that's been brought up to the players or to Ryan Day, or what is your take on this?
It has. That was actually one of the talking points yesterday. And Ryan Day, Justin Fields, we also spoke with Jonathan Cooper, all kind of addressed that they were aware that these things were being said. You know, they've heard it. They all kind of said they don't care. Ryan Day said he wasn't going to get involved with the emotional side of defending your team's or your conference's chance to be in the playoff. I think that which is probably the smart way to go about it from an Ohio State perspective. Look, if Ohio State wins on Saturday and is 6-0, they've got a strong resume. Is it as strong as everyone else's because they haven't gotten to play as many games? No, and I think there are certainly arguments that can and have been made on that front. I think if things go as planned, Alabama, or as people think they will, Alabama's in. If Notre Dame wins, Notre Dame is certainly in. If Clemson wins, I think both Clemson and Notre Dame get in. And then Ohio State is there. Texas A&M is a team that could be considered. Florida losing this past week to LSU kind of took them out of the mix a little bit. And Ryan Day was asked about that and didn't want to go down that road at all. He just said we have to handle our business, and that's what we're focused on. But, and then you can make a case for someone like a Cincinnati, Coastal Carolina, as neat of a story as that would be. I just don't see the committee doing that unless there's chaos, and that may open the door. But I think Ohio State's in a good spot if the Buckeyes win the Big Ten championship and finish 6-0. I also think that things could happen where a lot of situations could happen, I guess is what I'd say, and the College Football Playoff Committee is going to have to evaluate everything. I definitely don't think it hurts Ohio State to put up a big number on Northwestern. If you beat Northwestern by 7, 14, 21, you're 6-0 and you're a Big Ten champion. But if you can, get a convincing win, a 35-point win or something like that, I think that just helps your case a little bit. So I don't put a ton of stock into the record mattering. I think as long as they were 5-6-0 at this point going into the Big Ten championship game, they were in a good spot. The committee has continued to put them in the top 4. So, we'll see what the rankings are when they come out on Tuesday, but I imagine they'll still be that 4th place team. And, then it'll just come down to what the committee thinks coming out of this weekend.
As chaotic and complicated as it may be elsewhere, I think it's very cut and dry based on what the committee has stated about Ohio State and where they've placed the Buckeyes. They're number 4. They're playing the 14th ranked team in the country. There's nobody behind them that is playing as quality an opponent. So how in the world can they get jumped if they win? I just don't see where the committee is. They basically placed themselves in a position to put Ohio State in the playoff if they win the game.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you completely. I think the only thing you could say is if Ohio State doesn't look good but still wins the game, does Texas A&M jump the Buckeyes without? We've seen crazy sort of things happen in the rankings, but they've set themselves up, as you said, to have it play out this way as long as the teams that they think that are favored to win will win. So yeah, I think if as long as it plays out the way everyone expects it to, I think the rankings are pretty cut and dry. It's if you start to get a little bit of that chaos here in this last weekend that maybe something else happens.
Okay, Pat, we always enjoy the conversation. Catch Pat Murphy's work at Bucknuts 247 Sports on Ohio State athletics. Pat, we appreciate it. Hopefully we'll talk soon.
Sounds good. Appreciate it.